want to arrange a group of things in a box, how many number of ways can I do that? The concepts of permutation and combination are quite related, but they have specific differences. And I'm going to use my analogy to separate between them. You see, permutation can easily be defined as a sort of arrangement that gives respect to order. So when order matters, it is permutation. But in combination, order doesn't matter. So whether you order it this way or in this way, as far as they contain the same entity, they are the same. But in permutation, the order matters. Starting with A and starting is different in permutation. It's different from starting with B. Right? So listen to my analogy again. If, for example, I want to arrange these two people or two things in a box or in two boxes, how many different ways can I arrange them? It's either I put A here first. So after putting A here, what do I have left? I have B. So I put B here. Or if I start with this box 1, this box 2, and I start with B, then the next thing I can do is what? A. Put A in the next. So how many kind of arrangement have I had now? 2 different kinds of arrangements. Alright. Let's increase my items by 3, for example. By 3. Now I have a third box. Now if I want to arrange my items into this box, to arrange for the first person, now is it arranged like this first? Is it arranged like this? A, B, C, or I arrange like this? A, C, B, or I arrange like this? B, C, A, or I arrange like this? B, A, and C, or I otherwise arrange like this again? C, B, A, or finally I arrange like this? C, A, B. Looking at this, I have exhausted all the possible combinations, all the possible kind of arrangements that I can have. Is either I start with A here and here, and then next put B or put C next, and then put C or put B next. If you notice this, now let me ask you a question first. How many permutations or how many arrangements have I made here? I have made 6 different arrangements. So those are 6 permutations. 6 permutations. But what have I combined here? I have combined only A, B, and C. So I have only one combo here. One combination. I have not changed what I have combined. For example, look at this. Let's say I ate apple, I ate banana, and chips. Banana, apple. Now, if I took this in the morning, afternoon, or night, if I ask you what you have eaten in the morning, you will say apple, afternoon, banana, chips, evening or night. If you want to, in the next day, you want to change your arrangement. I want to eat banana first in the morning, then apple in the afternoon, and chips as dinner. Or in the next day, again, I alternate and say chips first, then apple next, then banana next at night as dinner. Now, if you ask, what have you combined? I have only combined apple, banana, and chips. So I have one combination. But how have I arranged them? I have arranged them in 6 possible ways. Alright? So now, let's turn this into mathematics, into the numerics. Let's introduce numerics. So when I said I wanted to arrange 3 people, 3 persons, A, B, and C. How do I go about that? In the first place, I have to arrange for the first person. I have 3 possible options. Is it I pick him or him or him? If I decide to pick him, let's say I pick him. If I decide to pick him, for the next place, how many options do I have left? Because I picked him, I have 2 options left. So before I picked him, how many options did I have? Before I picked him, how many options did I have? I had 3 options. After I picked him, this Mr. A, how many options do I have left? 2 options. After picking Mr. B, how many options have I left? 1 option C. And this is what began the concept of factorial. Factorial. So factorial simply means that you multiply backwards or multiply a term with its preceding term and its preceding term like that until you get back to 1. So if I say what is 7 factorial? 7 factorial will mean 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 until you get to 1. That is the meaning of factorial. Alright? So you see, this is the concept behind factorial. Now, for example, one more example. What if I increase the number of persons that I want to arrange? To say 4 persons. Let's say I want to arrange for Mr. A, B, C, and D. When I am looking for the person to stay in the first position, how many options do I have to pick from? I have 4 options. So I could pick D first. Having picked D, how many options do I have left to pick from for the 3rd place? I have 3 options left. So I have 4 options here, yes, first. Now later after picking him, I have 3 options from, and I decide to pick B. Now after picking both, for the 7th phase, how many options do I have left from? I have only 2 options left. Now I've picked from 3. I have now picked from 2 options. Then after that, I'll have only 1 option left. And this gives us 24 factorial. I mean, 24, right? 24. Right. So, this is the basic idea behind permutation and combination. But if you are asked that how many combinations are there, it is still one combination. Why? Because it is the same items I am combining. If I want to spell this out, what I mean is that if I arrange A first, then I do B next, C and D, or A, C, B, D, or A, B, C, D, or A, D, B, C. That is that. Or I have B, C, A, D, and like that, I'm going to get 24 possible different arrangements. But the combinations are still A, B, and C. So one combination here still, but 24 permutations. But how can we now get a different, how can we get a different number of combinations? It is this. It is when we are only combining a part of the whole. So for example here, if I was combining only 2 letters out of the 4 letters, then I will have a different combination, and that will be written here in maths as 4 combination 2. So I'm combining 2. Is either, let me use these 3 items. Is either, because it's shorter, I don't want to begin to fill the board. Is either I want to combine 2 things out of 3, out of A, B, and C. Is either I combine AB first, or combine AC, or combine BC, or combine CB, or combine, is either I combine AB, AC, BC, CB, BA, and CA. Is either I combine any of this, alright? But as far as we are concerned, these are how many permutations? These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 permutations. But how many combinations? We combine AB and BA are the same. So that is 1 combination. AC and CA are the same. That is 2 combinations. BC and CB are the same. That is 3 combinations. See, all that does not matter to us. As far as we are using the same entity, we have combined the same thing. So that is the difference between permutation and combination. Now, how do you now, let's generate a formula for permutation. The general formula for permutation is given this by this. How do we do that? For example, if I ask you to combine 4 permutations 2, how do you do that? What you simply do is this. You know that to To permute, that is the verb for permutation. So to permute four things, what you do is you can permute four things in fact 4 factorial number of times. Alright? But you are permuting only 2 things out of the 4. So you subtract the 2 from this 2 from the whole 4 factorial. That's what you're doing. So you know that to permute 4 things, you need 4 by 3 by 2 by 1. Now you divide that. That is what I mean by subtraction. Remember, successive subtraction is division. So you now remove the 2 factorial that you don't want there, that you are not permuting. So this cancels this, and you have 12 as your permutation. 12 as your permutation. Why? Because you are permuting only 2 things out of 4. So you remove by division the two that are left that you don't need to permute. Alright, so that's basically it. So remember that this sign means factorial. So you can go and watch the video where I talked about the fact that we have, remember we have 1 factorial is equal to 1, and we have 0 factorial is equal to what? 1. And how did we prove that? Go and check the video where I proved that 0 factorial is equal to 1. So you are going to understand what this means. Alright, so you see, in combination, the only difference between the formula is that, so what do we mean? It means that if we are doing a particular n permutation now, it's saying that it's going to be n factorial, that is 4 factorial, over, this is 2 factorial, that will be n minus r, that's 4 minus 2, so that will be n minus r all factorial. N minus r all factorial. But for combination, the formula is n factorial over n minus r all factorial r factorial. And this is what will make to remember that this is what will help us to know that this is combination. You see, there is a difference in the formula. There's r here, there's no r here, right? And I basically explained how this was formed. Alright, so please do also subscribe to the channel, click the bell, be patient, and I'll see you in the next video. In the next video, we are going to be solving calculations in permutation and combination. Thank you.